highvolumemusicradio.com. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business, marketing, accounting, social media, resources, strategies, tips, events. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour.
It's just savage business.
Grants, funding, capital, life
insurance,
annuities, finances, tax tips, strategies, music, business, local spotlights, business highlights, leadership, entrepreneurship. The Business Knowledge Broker Hour. highvolumemusicradio.com.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am well. I think we were having a little bit of difficulty there in regards to bringing you on camera for this segment. But you know what? Sometimes technology does that, and you know we have to say, okay, this is life. This is how it goes. But we roll with the punches. First and foremost, I want to say thank you very much for being a guest on tonight's show. I'm honored to have you on. Actually, I am truly honored. I know.
Thank you for having me.
It's no problem at all. I know people are like, okay, well, all right, you've been talking about, because I've been talking about your book with people all week, okay? So I want you to introduce yourself to the audience of High Volume Music Radio, the Business Knowledge Broker Hour with Candace Joseph.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Again, I am author Sherrika Hunt. I'm an entrepreneur. I own Diamond and Rough Management. I have an internet radio show, Arthur Brown. I'm a manager of Mike and Ike Mind Ministry. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I wear a lot of hats. I'm a State Farm agent for 20 years. And, my goal, I know you want to talk about it because I heard you were talking about it earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll let you go ahead and answer the question.
Well, okay, so let's talk about Miss Sherrika Hunt, the author, right? So let's talk about that first.
Okay.
Tell the listeners about some of the books that you have. I have one here that is in my hands. And yes, I do. I'm looking at it right now, smiling through my tears. How to press through tragedy, trials, and tribulations by Miss Sherrika Hunt.
Yes, that's my baby.
Yep.
Yeah, that book, a lot of people.
Well, you know what? I want you to tell the listeners of High Volume Music Radio how you actually brought about this book treatment. I know, the thing about it is, with books, we do not want to give out everything, but
Right.
you went through a process in order to get through this book. So can you
Right.
give the listeners just an overall feel of what this book is about?
So this book is about how I'm making it through grief. I won't say how I made it through grief, but how I'm making it through grief. I lost my father. 2 years after that, I lost my mother, grandmother. And 4 months after my mother, I lost my brother. So, in saying that, I'm a writer. I normally write poetry and I journal. And it started off me just kind of healing and writing down my thoughts and my feelings. And it turned into this book that I had to share. I wrote the book and I was just kind of sharing the journey that I took with losing my loved ones. And I felt that the world needed to hear this story.
Well, you know what? I agree with you.
Yeah, it wasn't just for me.
Well, I have to say, so I'll just put this out for, disclosure, right? Because, hey, we all family here. And
Right.
when I asked my Chief Executive Officer, Brandy Cambrick of the Joseph Consulting Firm, to meet with you to get this book, it was just something that was in me. Like, I was busy the day before. I couldn't meet up with you at your office to get your
I
book.
know.
And I was sitting there like, okay, I couldn't make it work, right? I was finishing up some other projects. I just couldn't do it. And for those last couple of days I couldn't get to you to get your book treatment, it was like, okay, well, I gotta figure out how to get this done. So I called Brady and said, hey Brady, please go by Sherrika's office, pick up this book. And she's like, yeah, I know you got a lot going on, let me help you out. And I was like, thank you, so she stopped the projects that she was working on in order to go over and pick up the book from you for me to have.
Right.
And when I tell you I got that book and I held it in my hands and I looked at the cover and then I read the back and then I read the first 2 pages and then I said, you know what, I'm taking a break. And I sat there and I read the entire book. I read the entire book because I think if me and you chatted about it, I told you straight up, like, hey, I needed this book today. Because sometimes I did. And it was like sometimes when you're going through something and it was kind of like, okay, you know how you just needed that push to make it through the rest of that day? Your book was that push. Because within your book, you talked about all the things that you went through. But the thing about it that I love the most, you never gave up.
I didn't. I couldn't.
You never gave up.
Yeah.
And you had a plan for everything that you were doing. And the thing about it is, and I love it that you wrote it in your acknowledgments in front of the book. You said, you know what, sometimes people in your life will push you.
Right.
And they will surround you in that love and that comfort where you can sit there and be your true authentic self and be who you are and step towards those goals of what you're meant to be. And you've done it. You've done it as an author. You've done it as CEO of, a Diamond in the Rough. You've done that. Applause.
Thank you.
I gotta give you some applause.
I appreciate it. It has not been an easy journey, but the goal is always pushing, pressing. I tell everybody, you have to get up, and make a conscious decision to just go be great.
Oh, I like that. You said you make a conscious decision every day you wake up just to go and be great. Well, you know what? I want you to tell people, we talked about the author, Miss Sherrika Hunt. I want to talk about the CEO and founder of a Diamond in a Rough LLC. I want to talk about that Sherrika Hunt because that Sherrika Hunt blew my mind.
Yeah, and I love that Sherrika Hunt. That is the creative part of me. I love to help people with their business and watch it grow and help them promote their events and branding. Like, I love it. Like, that's, I've been in insurance for 20 years and I was the marketing rep. And so to do it for someone else is different. But when you do it for yourself, now I have this company where I can help others and show them how to grow their business and market. And it's just, I love it.
And you know what? I love the fact that here we are, two business owners that, similarly do the same thing for people. But you know what?
Right.
But you know what I always tell people? When you think about what you're doing, you better go down that bread aisle in your local grocery store. And, in the local grocery store, you're going to see different types of bread. You might see wheat, you might see rye, you might see sourdough.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's all bread. And the thing about it is, at the same time, they're all, every bread is a brand, right? Every loaf that you see is a brand.
Right.
And I love how, at the end of the day, they all sit on the same shelf as one team to serve
That's
people.
amazing. And that's what we should do, and that's the goal. Like, we're not trying to compete with each other. We're just trying to be who we are in the industry. And so if you get this person and they come and they tell me, hey, well, I want to be a PR person. I don't say, oh, no, well, that's what I do, so you can't do it.
Right.
So I help them and show them what I did, and, the training and, educate yourself, investing in your business, getting your credit right.
That's right.
Saving, all of those things. I'm willing to give all of those nuggets to people.
I love it.
I
love it. So what do you say about, new entrepreneurs that are just starting out and, as, even someone that's been in business, as of right now, what should some of the goal items that they should be looking forward to finishing out 2018? What are some goals that you think business owners should really take a look at right now during this climate and times?
Right now is the perfect time to get your credit together. Get your credit together because That's so important. I mean, you're going out, and that way there's so many avenues, banks, all of these things that's available, these fundings that are available. You need to be able to tap into those things. Savings account, start saving your money. For some people right now, like me, I had an office, so I can't work out of the office. So now I'm working from home.
Right. So you had to do a business remix.
I had to do a remix. So what you see out on my radio show, Go Be Great, that's from my home. You have to use wisdom. Why would I pay $300 a month rent during this time right now? Right now is the time to be smart, and you have to save money and use wisdom, and then this is the time to plan.
Yes.
Plan for 2021. Plan, for the future. So don't get upset.
Yes.
About everything that's going on right now. Don't look at it like, oh my God, this is the worst time ever. It's really not.
And a lot of times people don't realize, like, right now is, like you said, it's the perfect time to take care of those small things that as business owners, we're so busy, on the go, on the move, we didn't have time for before. But now, you got the time to do it.
Right. Get those DBAs. Get you an LLC. Get you some training. Get you some education classes online. I mean, this is the time to educate yourself. Invest in things that you can invest in. This is the time to do that. I mean, it's just a perfect time to just start your new business.
Yes, ma'am. And you know what? You give a lot of knowledge on, your podcast. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about your podcast and how they can catch up with it?
It's on every Wednesday at 7 o'clock on Go Be Great Radio, www.gobegreatradio. It's a radio. It's 24 hours internet radio. But my show comes on at 7 o'clock, and it's for anybody that has a story. It's called the Author's Lounge because I'm an author, and of course I highlight authors, and it gives them a platform. But at the end of the day, I said lounge because I want you to be comfortable in your story. Because sometimes we're afraid to share our truth.
Wow.
And so I want to give this platform for people that's afraid. They don't even have to have a book out, but they may have a book inside of them.
Well,
everybody has a story.
Yes.
I had a young lady last week, and she had amazing story, journey, overcoming. Those are the things that we need to hear on the radio. Shows like your show. It's empowered, it's inspiration, it's encouraging. You're highlighting authors, you're highlighting business owners. I mean, this is what we're supposed to do. This is like amazing. We both have amazing jobs.
Well, I have to say, over the term of me doing radio, and every week is a push, but it's a push towards making sure that people are developed into their greater selves. And so that's why I titled today's show about goal setting, because a lot of times people say, okay, well, I got to go along and make some money. That's the wrong goal.
Well, that's the wrong goal.
That's the wrong goal, because a lot of people don't realize if you decide to put your energies into the community and give back to the community, or to open up a service or product within that community that can help your community build and come together and create that camaraderie, the money will always come.
Right. It's never about the money. It's not about the money for me. My goal is always to help someone. I always say we're better together.
Well,
my goal,
I love
it. Always to help others. It's not to make money, to be rich, to do this. I want to leave a legacy.
Well, you know
I don't want to. If I pass away, I want someone to say that, hey, because of her, I smiled today. Because of her, I didn't commit suicide. Because of her, I got past grief. Because of her, my business grew. I want that to be a legacy.
You are well on your way to doing just that. Because when I say I sat there and I read your book, I was like, you know what, I'm taking the rest of the afternoon off. Let me read this book. Because I had to, and it was wild because I had been having, I could say for the past 30 days, it's been a wild ride for me, but it's been good. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you go through the good and the bad, and you figure out a way to push through to get to the other side, right? So even with everything that I go through it with a smile, you know. And I look at it, and when I read your book, I sat there in reflection, and I was kind of like, okay, well, you know what? Every day, we never know what someone is going through, and how amazing it is that we should even extend kindness and courtesy. And from your book, what I learned was sometimes you have to get inside yourself and pull the strength out that you didn't even know that you had. And sometimes,
trust me, I did not know I had.
And it was, when I'm reading your book, I was sitting there thinking, it's like I can envision you, you know, going through all of these things. I can envision you saying, you know what? Yes, how I'm being strong for everybody else, but how can I be strong for me? And you did that.
I did.
You did that.
It's amazing. I
did. Look, that was me. Oh my goodness! Yes. Because a lot of times we don't know. We have to figure out how to overcome. We have to figure out how to pull it out. And you dug in deep. You reached out and got resources. You did all these things.
Yes.
You know, it didn't matter that you was out there doing what you had to do. You had to do it. You dug in 24/7 and you pulled it out. When I say this is amazing, this is amazing book.
I did, and I thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for even acknowledging me and having me on the show. You could have chose anybody, and I'm honored to be here. I'm always honored to anyone that gives the platform for someone to share their story and to help somebody else. That way people, they know they're not alone.
Yes.
Like, okay, if she did it, I can do it.
And you know what done it for me? The reason why I wanted your books so badly was because of your podcast.
Oh, wow.
And I watched the young lady that you had on last week, and when I tell you, I was stood up and was pacing the floor the whole time y'all was talking. I was like, she's speaking my language. She's speaking my language. Oh my goodness, she's speaking my language. So, I encourage everybody to go onto Amazon. Go to. Sure, go tell them.
It's on Kindle. Yes. Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Yep.
I'll pull up on you. It's in my trunk.
She said, we're going to do this thing like CDs back in the 90s. We're going to pull up and we're going to put it in your hand.
I will pull up on you. I just want the book to be that gift that keep on giving. I want you to not only read it, I want you to pass it on and help somebody else.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing.
It's not about the money. Yeah.
Well, that is exactly what I'm doing. One of the copies that I have here in my possession, I'm going to pass it over to the in-studio guest today, Miss Danielle Ford. So,
and that's what it is. We're going to pay it for.
We're going to pay it for it. But you know what? I want you to give 2 tips to the listeners right now in regards to goal setting. Give them 2 tips that they can utilize from you to push through the rest of 2020.
My suggestion is always God first. Like, I pray about it. I pray and I ask God for guidance. I write down my goals and then I pray over my goals. It's not just me just writing them down. I'm like, Lord, wherever you need me to go, whatever doors you need me to go into, if you need me to go this way, then you let me know. Guide my steps. Don't let yourself, because we can get into ourselves and just be like, oh, I want this, I want that, but that's not the road you need to go. So you have to be silent and quiet and listen to God. And then He can kind of direct your goals and help you, So that's my whole thing. I do that with everything I do. I'm telling you, I write them down and I try to just pray about it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, you know what? I want you to tell the listeners of the Business House Broker Hour with Candace Joseph on High Volume Music Radio how they can get in touch with you. Because when I say more people need to you need to be in front of more people. I don't care if it's Zoom. I don't care if it's in the parking lot with a bullhorn. I don't care. They need to hear the visionary that you are and the messenger that you are, because you are truly that. How can people get in contact with you if they need, Diamond in the Rough to pull out
To
something
help
for
them
them.
with their business.
Yeah.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
am the connect. A diamond in the rough is the connection to help you grow your business. I'm telling you. Sherrika Hunt. My website is www.sherrikahunt.com. I have 2 Instagram pages, A Diamond in the Rough and Sherrika Hunt. 2 Facebook pages, Sherrika Hunt. If you just Google Sherrika Hunt, you will contact me.
Well, you know what? She said a mouthful right there. Google me, baby. Google me.
Google me.
She just said it. Well, I have to say, I want to thank you for being a guest. In the future, I look forward to collaborating with you on various projects. Let's do it.
We need to get together. Well, I need to see you in person.
Yes. Look, don't be surprised I pull up on your office tomorrow because I'm thinking about taking a day off and relaxing.
Now you know why I'm at.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, don't be surprised if one day this week I call you and say, hey, I'm on my way. Where we going for lunch?
Exactly.
Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised at all. But I want to thank you for being my guest tonight.
And congratulations to you on your show, and I wish you all the best. All your guests that's on here today. I just wish you all the best and good luck with everything that you do.
Thank you so very much. And I thank you for, being that call-in. I'm going to make sure that I connect with you tomorrow, and we're going to talk about some more great things.
Keep my number. Let's connect.
Let's do that. And you got my cell. And you got my cell phone number, so let's keep in touch. Thank you for being a guest tonight.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
HighVolumeMusicRadio.com. The business knowledge broker out.
Hey, yo, Guru, you ready?
Business, marketing,